How did you feel about getting pregnant before you got pregnant?
Didn't really have any feelings towards it. I just thought I wasn't going to get pregnant.
I wanted to get pregnant with somebody who I would either be married to or be planning to spend the rest of my life with. To me, getting pregnant was about starting a family and, bringing a child into the world with the person you love most.
Right. So how did you feel about getting pregnant before you got pregnant?
Well, I always knew I wanted kids someday, but I didn't really think too much about it. I figured one day I'd have kids, but I wasn't planning it at the time.
Never even thought about it, to be honest with you. Didn't think it would happen to us.
No!
And how did you feel when you found out you were pregnant?
Scared, nervous.
I was shocked when I found out that I was pregnant because I had actually just broken up with my boyfriend the day before. And I happened to be over at his house so that we could, talk things out and maybe see if we couldn't try to make it work again. And, I was late, and so I took a pregnancy test just for the sake of it. I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't really think I was pregnant. I didn't believe that I could be pregnant. So when the pregnancy test read positive for pregnant, I was shocked. I didn't know what to do or how to feel about it almost, especially because it wasn't with a person that I wanted to be with.
When we initially found out we were pregnant, I, of course, was petrified, scared to death. He's the type of person, it's no big deal, we'll get through it. And he reassured me everything would be okay.
And how did you think initially about your options? Like you knew you wouldn't give it up for adoption.
I thought about all of them, and then I decided to keep her.
And what did you think initially about your options? Like you knew right away you would go through with it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Me being adopted, I knew that was out of the question. Abortion, don't believe in that, so there was no other option for us.
What did you think initially about your options for pregnancy?
For me, I didn't really have any options. I just knew I was going to have a baby. Didn't consider any other options besides having it. So.
I considered all options when I found out that I was pregnant, and I decided adoption wasn't something I wanted to do because I didn't want to put my child through a system per se, and I was really not wanting to get an abortion, but I was so scared to follow through with a pregnancy. I ended up following through with it though.
At what point did you tell your parents?
I told them probably about a month after I found out.
And at what point did you tell your parents?
Well, my mother, I think, actually knew all along, but I did not tell her until I was probably around 6 months. She came to me actually and asked me when I was going to say something. I hid it for that long of a time. My father did not know. I just started wearing larger clothes. He just figured with me away at a community college, I was just gaining some weight. Did not put two and two together.
I was about 5 months pregnant when I told my parents. I called them and said that there was something I wanted to talk about, and they actually came down. I said that, I wanted them to have lunch with me, come visit. They came and visited me in school at my apartment, and we sat down and talked about it then. It was really, really messy. My parents were upset when they found out. They wanted to know what my options were and what I was planning on doing. They wanted me to move and go to a different school, start over, get an abortion. They really pushed for an abortion. They took me to a lot of clinics and tried to force me into one.
She told me to get a job and keep working.
And They were a little concerned, but eventually they were happy about it.
So they were supportive.
Yes.
Helped out. And how did that make you feel?
Well, I was glad. It was just their grandchild.
And what steps did they take after they found out, or were they involved in any way to help out?
And was she supportive?
Yes.
And how did that make you feel?
Good.
And what steps did they take after they found out, or were they involved in any way to help out?
They lived in other states, so we just talked to each other on the phone. After the baby, they came down to help for a few weeks to make it easier in the beginning because it was my first. So.
Okay. Well, thank
I was upset. I felt abandoned. Like my parents were just pushing me to the side as though I wasn't good enough anymore to help.
Actually, both of her grandparents are very involved in her life. Her other grandma, made me a baby stocking that said baby and was super duper excited. And my mom just, helped me any way she could.
What steps did your parents take after they found out, and how involved were they?
The steps they took, again, at first, my father was kind of resistant. But once he seen my daughter, that was it. And it's been them from day one. They used to get her on the weekends, give us a break. They took her everywhere they went. So that was their little pride and joy.
Aww.
Oh my God, yes!